This is your literary reading for week 7. And I noticed a couple of you in the test had a difficult time with the tenses in a couple of words. One of those words was asked, A-S-K-E-D. It's very difficult sometimes to hear the ED when that word is spoken. Use your context clues in that case. Also, there's a couple of complex sentences in this reading. Pay attention to those. Okay, here we go. First paragraph. Please do not ever think that what you do in life does not matter, period. I remember all of my previous teachers as if I were sitting with them today, comma, and there are things that each of them gave to me that I am not even aware of today, comma, after all of these years of having had a chance to think about them, period, paragraph. Each one of you teachers in this room today has made an important decision in your life, period. That is the fact that you knew you would never get rich by choosing to teach, period. You made a decision that you would give yourselves to the next group of kids, period. You made a decision that you would do at work what we are all supposed to do in our families, comma, and that you would always be thinking about tomorrow, period, paragraph. On New Year's Eve, comma, someone asked me at a meeting that I was attending what it would be if I had to write something to put on my tombstone, period. I thought about it for just a minute, comma, and then I told them that it would go something like this, colon. I had the privilege of leading American youth into a new century, comma, and I tried to keep the American dream alive for everyone, period. If you think about that, comma, both of those things ask that we do a much better job of teaching each of our people, comma, every single one of them, period, paragraph. If you look around America today, comma, you see that we have a very high unemployment rate, period. This can be looked at in two ways, semicolon. It can be a good thing and it can also be misleading, period. Unemployment is at 0 for people who already have jobs and are in areas where they meet the needs in a growing economy, period. But if you talk to people who are not working, comma, the unemployment rate is 100%, period. We have to close the gap between these two groups, and I believe the way to do that is to give people education and then give them reasons to invest in places that have been left behind, period, paragraph. The Vice President of the United States was in Detroit a few days ago talking about trying to build communities and give help for businesses that are there to give people a chance to work, period. People are there, comma, and they are willing to work, comma, but there is nothing for them to do, period. It is my firm belief that we cannot create jobs for all Americans unless all of them have the opportunity to get the best educational skills they can, period, We surely cannot learn to live together as one country with all of the differences we have, and it is important that we know about them. Period. Paragraph. For thousands of years, people have lived in tribal ways that taught them to be afraid of those who were different than they. Period. We cannot afford to live that way in this day and time. Period. We must come to understand and respect each other and the contributions that each person has in society. Period. Paragraph. We are here to recognize some of the greatest teachers in our nation. Period. Among them is a Japanese American whose parents were prisoners of war in World War II. My own state had one of those camps. Period. I have been down to see it, and I still cannot believe that my country ever did this to fellow people. Period. Paragraph. We have African Americans and Hispanic Americans. Period. We have people from different religious backgrounds. Period. You know that what unites us is more important than what divides us. Period. Once you recognize that, you know that what divides us makes us more interesting and puts us in a better place to do well in the world of tomorrow. Period. Paragraph. We cannot learn to do this well unless we can not only feel our way out of this, but also reason our way out of this. Period. We have to know more than we know now, and we certainly cannot take advantage of the opportunities that were here for us at the end of the Cold War to create a whole new order of peace and freedom and wealth without much higher levels of understanding. Period. Paragraph. Or, let me put it this way, in a meeting I had, someone stood up and asked me a question. Period. He told me that he had a 10-year-old son in the 5th grade who wanted to know what my advice would be for him in the future. Period. It really was the hardest question that I had to answer that day. Period. I told him that he should study. Period. He should stay out of trouble and not mess up his body with drugs or anything else. Period. He should seek out people who are of different racial and religious backgrounds and get to know them and understand them. Period. He should try to learn more about the rest of the world as early as he could, and he should begin right now taking some time to serve his community, to help people who needed help. Period. Paragraph. That is what I told him. Period. Why did I choose those things? Question mark. Because I think that will give him a good education and give him the opportunity to help us all come together as one America and appreciate our differences and help us to maintain our leadership in the world. Period. Paragraph. You teachers are doing that every day that you stand before your classes. Period. That is why I have looked forward to sharing this day with you, period. You are having a great impact on the young people in our country today, and I want to say thank you, period, paragraph.